Hey guys, it's Adu. I'm back with another book edition video. I'm sorry, but I just love these types of videos. Like, I just love them. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm a romance book fanatic. Like, I could go on and on about my favorite romance reads. So just expect these to keep coming because it's non-stop from here, really. I'm here with you guys to just chop it up about my most traumatic romance reads ever of all time. Like, honestly, just trauma, you know what I mean, like traumatizing, something that just came out of nowhere, you know, just something that had me shook while reading, like something that had me putting down the book and just resting. Maybe I go to sleep, maybe I can't even sleep, maybe I even dream about these characters. Something that just causes a shift in my mental. So each and every book here has done that to me. And even sometimes with these books I have not read since. That's what I mean about trauma. You don't want to rehash it, you know. You don't want to go through that again. I mean, who wants to go through trauma? Not me. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get right into my least traumatic read. We're starting off with Love Belvin's Waiting to Breathe series. Okay, so this was a two-part novel series. I mentioned it talking about Stanton Rogers. I'm not sure if you remember me mentioning that character. He was one of my book bays, but growing up I realized that he wasn't it. Like, he wasn't it. I don't know, you might have a different opinion, but no. The reason why this was like a very traumatizing read for me was because of something he did. It was something he did to Zoe. That was a very traumatic experience for me. When I eventually caught onto what he did, I was young too, so even after he did what he did, sorry, I'm so sorry I'm being vague, but even after he did what he did to Zoe, he still was fine to me. I still considered him like a book bae. I was still into him basically, but I'm sorry. I would say out of all these books here that I've got down as traumatizing reads, this one is very minor, but it's still a huge deal. This plot twist, this plot segment, whatever, of the love story between Zoe and Stanton, this was deep. This was deep, guys. Stanton, man. Stanton. The next traumatizing read that I've got down here was is another Love Belvin novel, another Love Belvin series. Like I said, Love Belvin is the queen of series for me. This one, I've mentioned it like coming up to 1,000 times at this point. Muted Hopelessness by Love Belvin. I recommend this. I always recommend it. I will forever recommend this series. This has to be my favorite Love Belvin series. However, I believe it was the second book. That ending destroyed me. That ending, when I tell you that I was destroyed, I was silenced.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
Yes, Oprah, I was silenced because I was silenced. Like, Love Belvin did not come here to play with this series. I'm sorry, I'm serious, guys. I'm serious as a heart attack. That ending, oh, that one's gonna have you shook. It's gonna have you speechless. It's gonna have you silenced. I literally remember exactly where I was when I read that ending of the second novel. I was supposed to be studying. I remember I was supposed to be studying, but I was like sneakily reading. Like, you guys, let me tell you the kind of person I was, right, growing up. While you guys were, you know, sneaking out with your friends, maybe watching movies, TV shows, doing more fun activities, I guess, you just wouldn't want to study, right? I get it. I actually I would sneak to read. I would sneakily read. I could pretend that I was looking on my, I was looking through notes on my phone. I was reading, guys. Like, I was reading. And I remember, like, literally one point, the time where I read this traumatic scene from this series, I was sitting someplace in my room you guys can't see. I was sitting on the chair, and I was just like, you know, I was obviously hiding my phone so my sister, so my mum won't clock what I was doing, right? They won't clock that I wasn't studying. And I literally reached the end of that book. I covered my mouth like this. I remember just putting my phone on the table, and I remember getting up and walking to the toilet. I just needed to be alone. I didn't want to hear noise. I didn't want to be in the same room as my sister. I didn't. No, you know, no slight towards her, nothing like that. It's just, you know, when you're doing something wrong. I think that was just, I was guilty that I hadn't been studying. But I felt the need. I felt the temptation to tell her what I just read, but she would judge me, she would tell me off. So I just had to go into a separate room, separate, you know, environment, and just deep what Love Belvin did with her pen. She did not come to play. She didn't. And honestly, guys, if you read this series, just comment down below how you guys felt about it, how you guys felt about the entire series. It can't just be me who's read it, honestly. But it's sad to say that I don't hear people mentioning this. I don't hear people mentioning Love Belvin, period. It's very frustrating, because this is literally my favorite series from her. It's my favorite series, period. Like, it just is. But I can't deny the fact that she had me shooketh in my seat, that I had to get up and just hide. The next book that I have down below, this is the penultimate traumatic read. I'm surprised it's not number one. Okay, I know why it's not number one. This one, it would be number one if I hadn't read the next, if I hadn't read what number one is. Basically, I'll let you guys know. But this one, it's so close. It's so close to being number one, just because of the fact that I've only read it once. Like, if a book is really good, like obviously My Muted Hopelessness by Love Belvin, the Waiting to Breathe series by Love Belvin, I've read those two series multiple times. Even though, you know, there's that traumatic experience, I guess, you know, I still go back to reading it, because overall the story is just so warming, you know, it's just so sweet. This, you know, the happy ending, I don't know, I just love the characters. You know, I could say the same for the characters in this book, which is Takara Allen's Last Stop from Innocence. Guys, when I tell you that I love this book, I mean it. I literally remember where I was, once again, when I read this situation, when I read what happened. Basically, I remember where I was in bed. I had just come back from sixth form, just come back from school. I did my A-level. In fact, I did one of my A-levels, like the actual A-level exam. I think it was English or psychology, I don't know. And you know, when you just do like a heavy exam, like the real deal as well, you just want to come back, you just want to rest, like you just want to rest. So I was like, why not treat myself to just continuing reading this book from Takara Allen. The reason why I also loved this book, by the way, was just for the dark skin representation. So I remember this story from Takara Allen, it came from the perspective of a dark-skinned black girl, young girl, because yeah, and it's set in the 90s. I have a thing for 90s. I have a thing for like old time love stories. Like, I just like reading love stories set in the 90s or even earlier than that. Not earlier than that, because I don't want to read about no struggle love during oppression ages. No, not the dark ages, sorry. But yeah, so the 90s is always good for me. I just fell in love with this book opening it, and then that day when I felt like I deserve a treat, you know, from doing well in my exam, that didn't turn out to be a treat. That turned out to be one of the most traumatic reading experiences that I've ever experienced. Guys, I don't know if I can even find the picture that I took as I came up out of the app Kindle, and I just needed a pause. I needed a break because of what I read. But if you guys have read the last Stop from Innocence, you will know what I'm talking about. You will know what I'm talking about. This part was gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching. If you don't want to have a happy ending, basically, in your romance read, that is fine by me. That is fine by me, honestly. As long as your pen game is fire, as long as your storytelling is fire, like you got all your cards right, you got everything right and tight, all right, that's fine by me. Takara Allen just did, well, this kind of had a happy, I mean, it did have a happy ending. I can't take that away from this, but the journey to the ending was tough. It was tough. I felt like I was along for the ride. I felt like these two were not gonna have a happy ending. That's genuinely what I felt. That's genuinely what I thought. Just read Last Stop from Innocence, guys, and we can chat about it some more. Like I said, we're building a book fun having community on this side of YouTube. None of that toxicity. We don't do toxicity, except if it's in a romance read. I'm sorry. The most traumatizing romance read that I've ever read, guys, that is on this list is Takara Allen's Restricted series. Okay, so I know this is definitely a two-part novel series. I know that it is, and I know that the character's name, the female character's name is Jordan. As you guys can tell, I have only read this book once, just like The Last Stop from Innocence. But you know what makes this one different? You know what makes this one number one? The most traumatizing read ever for me. The reason why is because I didn't finish it. Guys, I'm known for finishing my reads. I'm known for finishing. I never skip. I don't skim pages like some people I know. I don't do that. I make sure I read every word for word, bar for bar. Like, even if I felt like I skimmed, I'm gonna go back, maybe even to the beginning of that page, that chapter, and start again, guys. Like I said, I love words, and if you are a master at putting words together, then I'm gonna appreciate that. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, Takara Allen is one of my favorite wordsmiths ever. Bro, if she was a rapper, she would be my #1 rap artist. I swear down. She would top every one of these rappers. I'm telling you, she is just that guy. Drake talking about being the GOAT. Have you read a Takara Allen novel, Drake? Thought so. But yeah, Takara Allen, don't play with her. Her pen game is fire. But yeah, it's fire to a fault though, because I didn't finish this book, and I've read most of all her books. There's some that I just don't want to read. Some, I guess 1 or 2 that I didn't finish. This one, I didn't finish it because it was just too traumatic, guys. It's just too traumatic. This one, I feel like I need to actually have a sit down and talk, you guys. Just discuss, just to, you know, discuss. Maybe have a therapy session if you guys have read it, you know, just to, you know, unpack our feelings, our emotions, because she took us on a ride. She took me on a ride, that's all I can say. She took me on a ride with this one. I felt like I was watching a reality show. And the thing is, yeah, is that Takara Allen, she's very good when it comes to writing about, you know, drama, you know, messy love, like the love that she writes about. Although it's fun, although it may end in like good happy endings, you wouldn't want to experience the journey. You wouldn't. It was just too much drama, guys. Like, it was a heavy read to the point, like I said, where I just didn't want to finish it. I didn't want to finish it. Guys, I really need you to read this series because it took me out. Like, I can even show wherever the notes page or whatever that I made. I made like I kind of ranted to myself, and I made like a quick notes on the notes app, and I think I sent that to my sisters. I don't know why I couldn't just send it as a message, but I felt like I needed to see physically, you know, what I felt in that moment. And I felt anger for something, for two specific characters. But that ending, I just knew what was to come. I knew that it wasn't going to be a happy ending. I don't know why I don't like happy endings, because reading a happy ending, I guess I don't have to feel trauma. I'm never traumatized, but I guess it's just boring. Like, trauma is cute, kind of. I might take upon myself to read this series again, to finish this series, to read it again, and to read, obviously, The Last Stop from Innocence before I repeat my readings of My Muted Hopelessness. The Waiting to Breathe series, that one I'm not doing. But guys, thanks for watching once again. Make sure to watch my previous videos, and if you're into other areas of my life, check out my vlogs. I have a Ghana vlog coming. Guys, I don't know if this is Ghanaian enough, but I'm telling you now, I'm a rep for that country, or I will soon become a rep for that country. Like I said, Ghana was a vibe. So make sure to check out that vlog that I will eventually post. I have another one coming up too, and I also have one already posted on my channel. So make sure to subscribe and like, and make sure not to miss out on any of my drops. Yeah, peace.